The Touchdown City Show is presented by Hendrickson and Long. For experienced mediation, reach out to Hendrickson and Long. Coming to you from the Stone Church Studio in St. Albans, West Virginia, this is the Touchdown City Show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of year again. Welcome into the Touchdown City Show, presented by our friends at Hendrickson and Long, West Virginia's top mediation attorneys. I'm Anthony Lewis, coming to you from the Stone Church Studio with Derek Bailey and the GOAT, Avon Coburn, back for another season, Season 7. Season 7, gentlemen, of the Touchdown City Show. Welcome back to the studio. It is football season. We've had
I think I need some intro music. What you think?
That's up to you. I can't make that call.
Hey man, I'm excited. I'm excited, man. It's a great time. Great time. Football's back. It's just, I mean, when football comes back around, I mean, we all wait for it because it's one of those things, and football's back in so many ways in my life. I got a stud too.
I was going to bring that up. He's
I'm excited, bro.
Spending time at the football field, posting videos, and his mom's yelling in the background. It's the fun stuff at that age.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing.
Beautiful thing.
So I know you've waited to get back to the football field with the young ones, and you're back. But yeah, it feels like it's been a long off season, probably because there's been a little bit of a transition, not only with with the show here. We took a little bit of extra time off to kind of get right and get some things cooking. I still got a few more things to cinch up and fix, but we've got some new sponsors. We're going to be
appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we actually next week we'll have some video functions. We were all set. We got the lights up in here, the cameras up, and we're missing one cord. So we'll have a video function next week, but
nice.
Got some new sponsors. You know, Dave Hendrickson and Hendrickson and Long. They're West Virginia's top mediation attorneys. They're now our title sponsor. Buffalo Wild Wings is back on board. So we're going to be doing some stuff with them. Casey Turley, Riddell, Tony the Tailor, and West Virginia Building and Construction Trades have all came back and are going to be working with us this year. So we appreciate them, and we appreciate you guys for listening. And we were at the Mountaineer Main Street event at LM Communications yesterday, and it was like, hey man, when are you guys starting? I was like, tomorrow.
We're back
Tomorrow.
How was the event yesterday? I didn't make it.
It was, well, I thought we were a little worried about the weather. Like it kept getting dark.
Yeah.
And everybody's on the phones looking at the radar, then it would dissipate.
Yeah.
About 2:30, man, it looked like it was just going to blow everything away. It was bad out. It looked bad. It went around. Somehow it avoided. And what was great is it didn't start raining until almost 7 o'clock on the dot. So it was like as soon as it ended, it was like it started raining. But I mean, it was nice. Honestly, when it clouded up, it looked like it was going to storm there at like 2:30ish. It actually felt good out because it was, you know how it is.
It wasn't too hot.
Yeah. So
a couple of years ago, it was blistering hot.
It was blazing.
Oh.
That was the year I almost passed out in the parking lot.
Because you probably had a couple.
Well, yeah, it's back when I was drinking. I'm not really drinking. I don't drink beer anymore. So
What's wrong with you, bro?
But
that's all I drink. I don't drink anything else.
I'm more of a bourbon guy now.
Look, well, when you get money, I see what happens. You get money. Let me get some bourbon.
Well, it's I could drink 30 beers or I could drink 5 bourbons. It's easier just to drink the 5 bourbons slow versus drinking all the beer. So
I'm a bourbon guy too now. I've kind of indulged in it.
You gotta let me mix you up some. I don't like to drink it just straight or on ice. I got a few little concoctions.
So old fashions? Do you like old fashions?
I do.
I like mine sweet. You give me a sweet old fashioned.
Oh, Lord.
It is delicious.
Yeah, and I'll drink it. I like Makers and Coke Zero. I drink that.
I don't drink Coke.
And then, or I've got a sugar-free Minute Maid concoction that I can make. Next time you come over,
Too health conscious. No, just Minute Maid and diet. I mean, sugar free and diet. Give me some sugar, bro.
Well, not all of us were
Kind of old skinny
boy over here. What size shirt you wear? Medium.
I'm not skinny no more, man. I've been struck. You know what? Getting back into it and into our show. I hurt my back bowling this summer, and I took like 2 months off of lifting, bro. My body is terrible. I feel terrible. I mean, it's getting back now, but I can't. If I'm gonna do it, I gotta do it.
How'd you hurt your back bowling? Just
throwing the ball, man.
You know what them kids say about that, don't you? They calling you old.
It's old man syndrome.
Old man. It's right.
I am, bro.
That's right. We're old.
You can hurt yourself like just getting in the car when you start to get.
when you old, that's what happens.
Getting
bro.
to be our
I
age.
slept on my right side. My ankle.
My
ankle's broke. Yeah, I mean, like it's awful.
That's crazy. I'm there.
Let's get into talking a little bit of football. It's that time of year again, but I wanted to let's start with this. It's year 2 of Rich Rod 2.0. Mm-hmm. What are some things that you have to see? And we've been through this, so we know what it's supposed to look like. So what are some things you want to see in year 2 of Rich Rod 2.0?
I mean, it's so crazy because it's year 2, but it's year 1 again. Even though he wants to say it's year 2, he has no players that
would you call last year 0?
I think it's year 0 but I mean, I'm not trying to give him any more time. I mean, we want to win now. He understands what the expectations are, but I don't think he don't keep his players right now. Like, he doesn't keep the core. People are coming and going. So it's year 2, but it's still year 1 because the players are not the same. I mean, every team, you have a different team every year, but this one is like, it's just a totally different team. So for me, I'm looking for more of a dominant run game. I mean, we ran the ball well, but for me, I'm looking for, and the reason why I say that, most people heard of Rick Trickett. Most people understand who he is, but he is a game changer. You know what I mean? So he was at Jacksonville State and 1,600-yard rusher. West Virginia, he's always had a 1,000-yard rusher when he was here. So for me, I'm looking for a dominant run game in this year, and with our new quarterback too. So offensively, I'm expecting so much more with the players we have and with the coaches we have.
I mean, I think I know what he's saying, though, about year 0 or year 1 or whatever. But I think every single program in the country is dealing with this. It's like you lose 48 players or whatever, and you got to replace 48 players. For some reason, like the format of college football, that's a whole nother 7-year discussion. But you're losing so many players, you're getting a whole new roster every year. The thing I think that I want to see more than anything in year 2 is I want to see the offensive line be more physical and be more dominant. I felt like last year's offensive line was soft. I felt like they got pushed around. And I think Ohio University pushed West Virginia's offensive line around last year. You would never, ever, ever see that with a Rich Rod team in year 2. I don't care how many players he replaced. That offensive line has got to be more physical than it was last year. If not, the whole game on offense starts with that offensive line. I don't care how good your running back is. I don't care how good your quarterback is. I don't care how good your receivers are. If you cannot block anyone, you're not going to win any games. So that's the main thing for me is I want to see that offensive line become more dominant. The hiring of Rick Trickett, I think, is a huge, huge plus. We'll get into him more, but Brown is going to start as a true freshman, which is going to be in my opinion, and I know it's hard to say this because you've never even seen him play, he should be better than every single offensive lineman that played last year. And that's a true freshman. So if there were any transfers that came in or anything like that, they've got to play better. And I don't think it's a bad thing that they lost 48 players from last year's team. They were 4-8. So to me, it's not that big of a deal. Right. Who did you lose? Like, think, how many of those players transferred to schools that were like, say, the equivalent of what WVU is?
Well, most of them were seniors. So and we talked about it last year. It was kind of like when they got there in December and they started recruiting, they were literally just kind of recruiting out of the bargain bin.
Yeah, they had
and trying to get the best they could at the time. They've had a full cycle to go out and get guys in the portal, recruit a group of guys, and I kind of like this. Like, So the expectations aren't super high in year 2, like from the outsider's perspective, but I kind of see the big picture plan. You know, they went out and they went heavy with high school guys and junior college guys and guys that still have 2 and 3 years of eligibility left. Now it's just retention to build through this season going into the next season, which I kind of like that play for them. But also, too, and you guys have already both mentioned him, and I've got him here on the things to talk about. The return of Rick Trickett is key. It is one of the most important moves outside of players that they went out and recruited is the return of Rick Trickett. You're talking about a guy, a 78-year-old offensive line coach who's out there still getting it. Rich Rod called him. Rich said in a presser that he thinks he's the best coach in America. And Rick Trickett has the pedigree. He has the resume to make the improvements that Rich needed up front. Talking with Owen Schmidt yesterday, he's been to practice. He said, and you know what it's supposed to look like too, when they come off the ball, it's like one big wall of movement left and right. And it's like a well-tuned orchestra or a symphony orchestra, and this is what it's back to. So,
and I'm telling you, it's game changer. Like it's. So I went up in the spring, and I haven't been for training camp. Rick Trickett is a game changer, and when Coach Rod said he's the best in the country, like I'm telling you, like this dude, in my opinion, he's one of 2 offensive line coaches, and I've seen a bunch that does it one way. And his way works, and it's one of those things. You know, you gotta change with the game. There's nothing changing about blocking and tackling like that is, and he teaches those fundamentals to those dudes like they've never been taught before, and they probably get more reps in practice than I think any segment of any segment gets. They probably run 600 reps in practice, you know, in the line, like Owen was saying, they in a line in unison, coming off the ball, and the other side of it is, I mean, he understands what he has when or what we're doing when it comes to a zone run play. It's not always about power. It's not always about pushing somebody off the ball. We will have to do that at times, but if we can, if this guy is big and we can get around him, the running back is going to make the offensive line right. Mm-hmm. And that's the one thing that Trickett knows, that he has a running back that's going to make, you know, especially with you know, the veteran that he has. We'll talk about him later. But I'm so impressed with Trickett. I mean, he's 80 years old and he's doing the same things that he's done, you know, for 40 years, 50 years, and he's still doing it. I mean, it's impressive, guy. I mean, I think we all need to go up and just watch. Everybody in America, every O-line coach in America needs to come to Rick Trickett's practice and watch how he works. I mean, he's 5'6". I mean, every player he has is taller than him, and you see these people, these young men, these grown men, just cowering down to this dude, and it's not because of fear; it's because of respect. And
respect.
Dude, he knows what he knows what he's doing. He knows what the expectation is, and he pulls it out of. He'll pull it, and for him to start a freshman, and I don't think
they're
it's
not
a
going
money
to tell
thing.
you they're starting him, but he's probably going to start.
Oh no, for sure. Like he's definitely going to be on that line, and it's not because, you know, they paid him money. It's because he's that good.
Yeah, he earned it.
Just talking with Owen yesterday briefly he came to the Mountaineer Main Street event and then came over to the house actually for a little bit, and just talking with him, he said that Kevin Brown looks draft ready already. I mean, he said he is a physical specimen, and I think he'll be a difference maker. I think Rick Trickett will obviously be. When I think about coaches, whenever I was working there, that I enjoyed watching coach the positions, Rick Trickett is probably at the top of the list, and probably just equal was Bill Kurlavich.
Yep.
I mean, it's you ever go to an amusement park and it says you got to be this tall to ride this ride? I mean, you got to be that tall to ride that ride with those coaches, or you're just not playing on that football team. Period. Like, he doesn't change the level of the bar. You've got to
That's-
change the bar.
That's the key to what it is. He's not going to change. He knows the requirements to be great, and they have to rise to his level, or he's going to find somebody else.
Yep.
You know, and that's a beautiful thing, because people say these kids nowadays don't want to be coached. They don't want to, they're prima donnas. Yes, they are. But when you go against a real coach and you come in contact with a real coach, you either going to rise or you're going to fall. And great players want to be coached every day and twice on Sundays. They want to be coached. And the beautiful thing is he only coaches he coaches during his time. Once they get into team, he doesn't do a whole lot of coaching.
Right.
Unless somebody blatantly messed something up. But when I'm telling you guys, the level that he expects is, I mean, it's impressive.
Week 1 versus Coastal Carolina, that'll be the thing that I watch the most. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the running back room. I kind of sent you guys a note this morning and said, hey, let's talk about the running backs a little bit, because I think that's a good place to start. And, of course, we don't play next week, so then we're going to kind of get into next week. We'll look ahead to Coastal Carolina and even kind of give some season-long predictions. Later in the show, don't forget the Alumni Hall Trivia Question of the Week, 304-729-4465. Thank you to Beth Parks and the folks at Alumni Hall for coming back and being a part of the show. I got to get you guys your gift cards.
Cards. I didn't. Well, you normally give them out
Early. I haven't been up to get them. I've been busy, but that way you guys can get you some new gear, and they get some really nice stuff. I've already been up there twice, kind of looking around, trying to.
Yeah, we need to get your amount, because you come back with so many more things than we ever get.
It's weird how that happens.
I know, isn't
it's
that crazy?
very weird.
You
And also
with
spend
shirts,
money.
hey. Well, I mean, we do too. But you don't.
I put money with it and then get extra stuff. Or you can go to the gear sale and get these nice shoes.
Yeah, those shoes are sweet, and I'm definitely going to be up there next year.
Hey, before we go to the break, I want to remind everybody, head over and check out our new website, touchdowncity.com. I just had that built, a new website built, and I'm really happy with it. And it has just a nice little landing spot for you to check out our shows. There's a shop button. You can go over and buy T-shirts or anything from the Touchdown City shop. Head over there and check that out. And, of course, we appreciate our friends at Hendrickson and Long for now being the title sponsor, Dave Hendrickson. We got to get him on. He's a big-time Mountaineer fan.
Really?
Dave. Oh, yeah.
Let's get him. Let's.
Yeah, he goes – he has really nice seats to all the games. So we appreciate Dave Hendrickson and
Seats
Hendrickson and
or
Long
booths.
for being the title sponsor now, and what they are, West Virginia's top mediation attorneys. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the West Virginia running back room. We'll do that after this.
Are you or your business stuck in a dispute that just won't move forward? You might think a judge is your only option, but there's a faster, less costly way. Dave Hendrickson offers professional mediation services to all of West Virginia. He prides himself on resolving business issues efficiently and fairly for all parties involved. Contact Dave Hendrickson at 304-346-5508. That's 304-346-5508.
Coach Rodriguez has crafted a stellar roster on the field and off the field. The West Virginia building and construction trades are doing the same. Our skilled tradesmen and women build strong, safe communities. Learn how you can help rebuild West Virginia by visiting wvtrades.org. Let's go, Mountaineers.
Stay tuned and listen for the Alumni Hall Trivia Question of the Week and win a $25 gift card to Alumni Hall.
And welcome back to the Touchdown City Show presented by Hendrickson and Long, West Virginia's top mediation attorneys. And don't forget, later in the show, we'll have the Alumni Hall Trivia Question of the Week. All right, I thought it would be appropriate, since we have Avon in the room with us. Let's talk a little bit about the running backs. I mean, West Virginia has gone out and filled their running back room with guys they feel like that they can win with, a talented group of guys. And it all starts with Cam Cook, West Virginia's senior running back, who is a transfer from Jacksonville State. 295 carries in 2025 for 1,659 yards. And so, so for people that haven't paid a lot of attention to him, it's like, you always get he's, he transferred from Jacksonville State. Let's see what he does. People forget that he went to TCU
right
out of high school and was pretty successful, but got banged up and then lost his position. And sometimes now guys will take off and look for new opportunities. So he has the pedigree in the Power 5 and the Big 12. So I'm not worried about that. First, let's start with 295 carries. You sigh when you hear that. That's a lot of carries.
That's a testament to him too. So when Rich loves a guy, Rich wasn't there last year, but when a coach loves a player, they trust him. They're going to give him the ball. And if he had 300, he's probably. With this new style where you have to play players a lot more. I don't. But if Rich doesn't trust anybody else, he's going to get about 400 carries, which is going to be crazy. That's impressive.
I need to look up how many carries did you have your senior year, because you ran for 1,700 yards.
I had like
your
300,
senior year.
350. It was a lot of carries.
And then they ran the ball a ton when you were senior, and not to mention you had over 300 carries. Quincy had about 120.
No, he had 199.
Okay, so 100, almost 200 carries, and then Rasheed had how many?
He probably had 125, something like that.
So you're talking about a lot of carries through the course of the season, and I kind of see the same thing kind of panning out this year with Cam Cook, and you've got other guys. You got Amari Latimer.
Freshman, yeah.
These two guys are the most talked about in the room.
Right.
Latimer is a 6 foot, 228-pound freshman who had offers from Georgia, Florida, Florida State, USC, and Wisconsin. So he has the resume.
Yeah, he has the pedigree too. He's a big body, and unfortunately I haven't been up there to see in full pads what they do. But looking at the highlights, he's running through people. He is an imposing creature.
You're going to have, to me, if you, like Anthony said, you're going to have several carries. And the thing is the running back room kind of lacks experience outside of Cam Cook. Mm-hmm. You're going to have Latimer. You mentioned him. He's just a true freshman, though. How will he hold up? How's he going to do? What will he be like now? He looks 6'2" or 6 foot 228, and I know everybody saw his picture and was like, "My Lord, look at this kid! He's a monster." So you wonder how he holds up. They brought in Boswell from junior college, so he's going to have some collegiate carries. You wonder if he'll even be a factor. You haven't heard much about
he's
any
a
of them.
6'2" guy, right?
Yeah, I believe so. He is. No, sorry, he's the 5'9" kid. He's 5'9", 182.
Oh, Boswell, okay, yeah.
Boswell, yes, he has, but he has some carries at the collegiate level, even though it's junior college. So you might early in the season, even he's probably going to be some kind of a factor. And then depending on who it doesn't matter, Fox or Hawkins, they're going to carry the ball from the quarterback position. So the running back room, albeit as young, I do think it is very talented. You have Divine's son as well up there.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Somebody will separate themselves to be that running back too. It's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see whether that comes from the true freshman or the JUCO player that came in and has experience. But a lot of the other guys haven't really had a whole lot of opportunities at the collegiate level.
There's another running back that they are impressed with, Chris Talley from Memphis, Tennessee. He's a freshman. He's been called special by the running back coach in a press conference. They really like his potential. I don't know how many carries he'll get this year, but when you're talking about a kid that they already are looking at and they're calling him this kid, sky's the limit for this kid.
Right.
And I kind of like the perspective of, let's get these guys the ball, but then yet, your workhorses are going to be Cam Cook and Amari Latimer. I would believe probably Latimer on short distance stuff, and then your every down back is going to be Cam Cook. But then, you look at Divine. Here's what makes me wonder what they're going to do with him, because Rich has mentioned him twice in press conferences, and I really see them using him and motioning him out into the slot. They'll come out in that 2-back set that they like so much and maybe even give it to him or motion him out or throw it to him. Kind of maybe use him like a Darius Renaud type of.
So I think, based on what I saw in the spring, and he was a little bit banged up. Chris Talley, they had him in a slot too.
Okay.
And when they say he's special, he's got wheels. Like he can take it 90. But he's skinny. He's like
That's the problem with, like, and that's where I said about Latimer looking like he's physical. It looks like he's going to be physical. He's 6 foot 228. These other kids are 5'9", 5'11", and they're not thick enough. Like, they haven't been in the strength program long enough. Yeah, so they may struggle with the physicality of college early on. So it may take them a 5-6 game adjustment.
It's crazy because looking at Cam Cook, I mean, the consistency from what he's done over the last couple years, and knowing how Trickett is going to work, I think it's going to be such an easy transition and I mean, he's running the same offense,
right?
He's running the same offense they had at Jackson, but I feel like him is really with the offensive line, with him knowing how that's going to work, is really going to separate him from everybody else, which I think we already have that. He's clearly number one. But the number 2 and 3, this kid, Chris Talley, I seen him doing a lot of things. Like, it wasn't like he was because when you said Darius Renard, I seen him more of, he doesn't have
The body.
Yeah. But, everything, the hot passes, the motion, the quick pitches, that type of thing. I see him doing all of that because when I tell you he got wheels, like, he's running away from everybody.
That's another thing that we're taking. In fact, like I said, it's a young running back room. You have to put them in positions to succeed. So obviously, these coaches are going to know how to, like, they're going to be like, hey, this guy can run an in and around. He can run a jet sweep. He can run. He can pound up the middle. Short yardage was a problem last year. It felt like every short yardage, it felt like West Virginia was getting stuffed on a lot of them, and that was frustrating.
I think that was more O-line.
Yeah.
I think that was more O-line because I mean, I would say this: it's a mentality,
right?
And if Cam Cook, being a senior, is going to come in with the mentality of, hey, there is no way we're not going to get this. And I think it's just like block and tackling. If you don't have a mentality to do that, it's not going to happen. And, Rich was trying to implement it. Now he's going to have players that understand what he wants, and also bringing in players that kind of do the same thing, that has that mentality. So I'm excited for that portion of it as well, because the short yardage, and we talked about, Lattimore being the short yardage guy. As a competitor, I mean,
Cam Cook ain't going to come off that field.
He's not going to want to come off.
Cam Cook wants 500 carries. Latimer wants 500 carries.
Right.
All these kids, they all want 500 carries, which I can't blame them for that. That's what they're wanting to do.
Well, I mean, Cook is going to be what I like about him, he's kind of plug and play. He's already kind of played in this system at Jacksonville State. They were running pretty much the same thing. And what I have enjoyed so far, just watching his video and some of the highlights, and shout out to Jed Drenning over at In the Gun. I don't know if you guys watch his stuff. If you like the deep dive stuff, Jed is like high-end deep dive guy. Like, I know we're not supposed to talk about other guys, but I don't care.
Recognized game.
But yeah, he does a great job. That's the thing. Like, he does a great job.
The real deal when it comes to breaking stuff down, and I've really enjoyed his breakdowns of Cam Cook. But the guy that they talk about and they compare him to is you. Everyone is saying this guy has the same vision and cutback ability as Avon Coburn. And, and I think we talked about it a few weeks ago when we were at the photo sessions, where you were a guy that wasn't going to go north and south and just blow by. You were not the Steve Slayton guy, but you were the guy that got in the hole and cut left, cut right, and even had great cutback vision and could get you a first down. But you were always a positive yard running back. Yep. How many times were you caught for tackle for loss?
I mean,
rarely.
So in my senior year, I probably had 5 tackles for loss my entire senior year.
And see, that's what some running backs don't understand. Like, that 2 to 3 yard gain is valuable. I mean, it's a whole lot. But I'd rather you gain 2 yards than to lose 5. So, like, that matters in the grand scheme of things. I know it sounds easy, but like some running backs think that they're going 75 every time in their mind, and it just don't work that way.
Yeah, positive yards is positive football, and he runs the same way. So I'm really excited to see how this plays out. And of course, we're going to talk a little bit about the schedule. We'll do some of that next week. But one thing I do want to mention when it comes to getting this team to gel is they're finally getting a break. You don't have Penn State, Virginia. You don't have some game that's a tough game one. They can work into Virginia.
That's what I was going to say. You have 2 games to start the season to like, especially Tennessee Martin. They'll be probably worse than Coastal, you would think.
Coastal might be a trap.
Well, you would think Tennessee Martin will probably, they'll be. So you have 2 games, in my opinion, to kind of work some guys in that you want to play, but you have to put your foot on the throttle against Coastal in the opener and beat them soundly. And the same thing with Tennessee Martin. You can't play around with these teams. Like, I don't want to come out there and see 5 fumbles in the first half like we did last year in the opener. I don't want to see that, or in the game, whatever it was. It was awful. Like, that was coming. You've had all summer to prepare, and that's what you gave us, 5 fumbles. So that's the kind of thing, though. Those first 2 games,
I forgot about that.
that does. Go ahead.
That's frustrating. I mean, like, I don't want to see that. Like, nobody wants to see that. So, to me, those first 2 games are key with a young team to get some development in for some younger guys that you can count on later on.
All right. Coming up in the show, later in the show, the Alumni Hall Trivia Question of the Week. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about the WVU baseball run, the new 5 for 5 rule, and we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, we'll get into that. Don't forget, the Touchdown City Show is presented by Hendrickson and Long, West Virginia's top mediation attorneys. And when we come back, we'll have the Alumni Hall Trivia Question of the Week.
As the game gets faster, stronger, more dynamic, your equipment has to keep up. Introducing the Riddell Axiom, the next evolution in football protection, designed to match the speed and strength of today's athlete. Contact West Virginia Riddell representative Casey Turley at 304-552-5960. 304-552-5960. Gear up, play smart, stay protected.
Turn your sports card collection into instant cash today. We buy PSA Slabs vintage cards and certified autographs. Text 3047294465. Again, text 3047294465 right now. Turn your sports card collection into instant cash today. Text 3047294465.
Thanks for keeping it locked in with the Touchdown City Show, presented by Hendrickson and Long, West Virginia's top mediation attorneys. And it's now time for the Alumni Hall Trivia Question of the Week. The phone number to text is 304-729-4465. Again, 304-729-4465. And the question this week: in 1984, West Virginia finally beat Penn State for the first time in 25 attempts. I believe it was 29 years, but 25 attempts. What was the final score of the 1984 West Virginia-Penn State game in Morgantown? If you know it, for a $25 gift card, 304-729-4465. Text in the answer. We'll send you a $25 gift card to Alumni Hall. Well, as we start to get closer to the season, all the fun talking points start coming out from the press. This is kind of going to be a weird week because it's going to be like a dead week press-wise. I don't even know if Rich has any media availability. But throughout the course of the weeks leading up to it, there's camp talk and different things. But there's been a lot of things to talk about, and we'll get into some of this 5 for 5 stuff and also the ruling that came out of Colorado last week. But first, the top 25. No love for WVU, but the Big 12 has Houston, Utah, BYU, and Texas Tech are all listed in the AP top 25. And my question to you guys is, can WVU crack the top 25 this year after not making any appearances in the AP poll since
2019? Yeah.
I think they can. I mean, especially if they start off, they can have a good start. But I wouldn't have put them in the top 25 either. I mean, they got 60 new players. It's hard to gauge, and a lot of the players aren't coming from playing. They played, but they were backups, and they haven't been starters. So I don't think, in my opinion, we don't deserve a top 25. Now, if we play some teams that can put us in a position to elevate. So I think we should. I think we should be able to get into it, but initially, no.
I mean, the last impression of the West Virginia football team in 2025 was a 49-0 loss at home.
Yeah,
they're not going to get any top 25 votes, and they were 4-8. You're not getting any top 25 votes,
team in the country,
but you're still not getting any top 25 votes from that. So the thing is Do I think they can get in the top 25 this year? I absolutely do, and we'll get into it next week. But the start of the schedule, those first 7 games, I could see them starting 7-0. I mean, I'm probably way more optimistic than I should be, but there's not a game I look at in those first 7 and say, oh, that's a definite loss right there. Now, they could lose. They could start 0-7, though. I mean, you never know. But they could get into the top 25. I'm not saying they will.
We don't want to start 0-7.
If you start, well, I mean, you know, I'm saying, but I mean, you know, like you don't know what you're going to get because Avon, like Avon said, you got how many new players and all that.
Right.
But like you look at those first 7 games, and that is very, very, very favorable for West Virginia.
I agree. I think West Virginia can make I think at some point this season they can start to get votes and then break that top 25. Yeah. But things got to go right. I think this team, especially with the addition of Michael Hawkins, bringing back Rick Trickett, there's things that I've seen that are positive that I think can help West Virginia get back to the top 25. So I'm going to be cautiously optimistic, but yet, we'll see what happens there. The schedule definitely favors that, and of course, we're going to deep dive into that next week because we have an open week. It's
Week 0.
Week 0, and we don't play. So
yeah, which is good and bad.
All right. Well, so in the off season, the NCAA has now said that basically kids have 5 years to play 5 years. When you show up on campus, your clock starts.
Well, that's a great thing because now you have 5 years to play 5 years. Like you had 4 years to play 5 years before. So now you got 5 years to play 5 years. So now that everybody has an extra year. I don't know if people understand that. You got 5 years to play. So these kids, and I don't think there's going to be a lot more people leaving going to the NFL, in my opinion, because you go to the NFL to get paid. Yeah, you want to go to the league, but you go to the NFL to get paid. And you can get a lot more done knowing that, your mom is taken care of. You can. I'm talking about the people that are going to go first round, second round, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. They're not going. So 5 years to play 5 is amazing.
Well, let's look at your mentor. Let's look at Zaraway. Amos Zaraway leaves and to go pro after his junior year, and basically was he
third round?
First
round
pick
of the third round.
Okay, so he's a third round guy, which today they pay him if Amos Zaraway comes back one more year,
he might get $1 million.
Oh, more than that.
He'll be $2+ million.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying though, like
he's getting more money coming back to college
than going pro. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
but then back then though, they went pro to get
paid
anything,
right?
So what do you guys think of this new 5 for 5? I mean,
I like it, and I'm looking at it from a different perspective though. We have guys playing 9 years of college football now.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean, there's a kid I think he's playing for the University of Montana, and I think he's a linebacker, and he is in his 9th year of college football. Come on now. Like, what are we doing? That's not a college student anymore. And I'm not saying – I feel bad for the kid. He had some injuries, things like that. That's very, very, very unfortunate. All of that is unfortunate. But the thing is, this is college football. This is not the NFL. I'm a 9-year college football veteran.
He should have 2 master's degrees by now.
Like, right. He should be,
2 masters.
And that's, and like, so the 5 for 5 rule is, I'm in favor of that because that way it gives every kid 5 years. He can play 5 and he gets 5 years. That's fine. But like, it does away to me with like the 9th year senior. Like a 6th year senior was okay in my opinion too, because like you could have a guy that'll tear ACL or something like that. He should get like, I have some sympathy for that. But like 9 years?
Yeah.
My God, what are we doing? This dude was in college when Trevor Lawrence was playing for Clemson.
Yeah, that's crazy. For me, the 9 year, the 5 year rule is like we started. I think it's a great thing. Because again, you don't want to have a guy. I think there was a guy in Miami that was 8 years.
He was. There was a tight end.
Yeah,
in Miami.
tight end. In Miami.
And he was like 8th or 9th year.
It's just crazy. But at the same time, they're getting paid now.
I don't blame the kid. I'm not blaming the player. Or I shouldn't say kid. He's not even a kid anymore. I'm not blaming the player. Yeah,
he's 30 in college, and I don't want any more than 5 years. I don't want any more than 5 years. And, with this transfer rule now, I think you got to sit a year if you transfer after the first time or something like that.
After the first transfer,
you got to sit a year. I mean, it is what – I mean, that – I think that they should have we're getting off topic, but they should have done this prior to even doing this whole transfer thing. Put the rules in place.
Well,
It was just chaos. And the little teams got hurt because players left big schools, got all this money and left. And it's just so 5 years, 5 years, 5 playing. I think that should be the limit.
But part of the problem too, though, like, and I'm not like they just go and get an injunction. So like that's all they get. So it's I mean, you know, so
well, it's that stuff is over with.
yeah. Hopefully,
You got 5 to play 5. If you get hurt 4 years, you're just
It is
hurt.
what it is.
Yeah.
And everyone knows that walking into it. But here's one, and I think about like Jamal Adai. The 9th game of the season, they blow his red shirt because we were out of safeties, and they blow his red shirt his freshman year.
Yeah, in the 9th game.
You know, so like, or you know, back in the day, if you just stepped on the field,
Right.
you
like
blew your
even-
red shirt. Now this gives guys opportunities to develop. You know, you can play them in the UT Martin game. You can, if there's other blowout games, or you know, you can stick them in. Let's.
that's the
What's
plus.
better than live action? I mean, that's you're putting stuff on film, and you know what a kid's gonna, you know.
Reps is.
Rep-
I mean,
that's-
you need reps. I mean, and that's the key where you have 5 years, and that's the plus side of it. You have 5 years to play. Now, the negative side of it is, again, if somebody gets hurt, you know, you got a star quarterback. But again, if you're a star and you get hurt, you know, hey, that's the nature of it. Like, everything is not always going to be the way you want it to be. And injunctions, I'm so happy that's gone because, you know, what these kids are doing and, you know, having to wait till January to go, that is ridiculous to me.
Well, now, so the only thing really left standing is the, you know, the preliminary injunction in Colorado against the NCAA allows the group of the class of 2022 athletes to play the 5th season. So, which means there are football guys that are waiting, and they got the green light to go and play. But then the 10th Circuit of Appeals granted the NCAA the request to stay to this ruling. So now, from what I read, I don't know if you guys, I briefly read a little bit this morning,
read
but
a whole bunch.
so now it's going to go back to the local courts. So like Brandon Laurent is going to file an appeal in Wheeling. So now everyone's going back to their hometown judges, and they will pass. They just need to let this group play.
And just get
And it'll be over
and
with.
that would get it over with.
But you think about there's no judge in a person's city that's not going to say, yeah.
Like, yeah, can you imagine, like, okay, just going to use Randy Moss.
Right.
He's going to come back to Marshall and play his senior year. You know that just going to be like, yeah, he can play.
Yeah, absolutely.
He can play.
I mean, you just file it in your home. That's what Texas Tech did, you know. But they just let them go and play.
Yeah,
you know, you've made a ruling. Moving forward, there is precedent. You got 5 for 5. So now, I mean, like now these football guys, I mean, they're playing football Thursday night.
Right.
You got guys that are in limbo.
The crazy thing is there was a guy, I think it was for Tampa Bay. He got 2 sacks in a preseason game, and he's in the transfer portal. He got 2 sacks in an NFL preseason game, and he's in the transfer portal.
Well, I mean, and the
And
thing
that's
about
the
it is,
5 for 5. I mean, and yeah, like, you know,
is
I mean,
is he going to make the roster?
that's the thing you don't know. I mean,
And if he
doubt it.
doesn't, it gives him an opportunity
Yeah,
to go back to college.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
it's crazy though that you think a guy that played in an NFL preseason game could be playing college football in 2026.
But that was the rule.
The rule, they made a ruling though. That's right. So I mean,
So
like,
now
it's-
the door, if he gets cut from that roster, he
Look,
can go back and play college. I'm okay. I'm actually
if they
okay
make
with
this,
that.
if they make this ruling in say February,
I'm not okay with that.
well, if they make his ruling in February though, he probably just stays in
He
college.
just stays in college.
and doesn't have to worry about it. So
No, the
you know,
bullshit was last year the kid from played in
In
the
NFL.
G League.
yeah, they're letting those G League players come back
Come back
with
to
the-
college.
come back to
Right.
college and play.
You know that's nonsense.
It's insane.
Well, you remember there was also a first round draft pick that I can't remember where maybe Carolina and he got drafted and he went back to college. He was at Texas A&M, I think. Somebody from I think it was a D
Probably
lineman.
made more money.
Yeah.
Why
Well, I mean,
go in
that's-
the draft?
That's the thing with me is like these quarterbacks, and I don't know, I don't know what they're getting offered and everything. I don't know what the 6th rounder gets paid. Somebody said Quinn Ewers from Texas was offered like $7 million to get in the transfer portal to go to another school, and he went to the pros and got drafted in the 6th round. I was like, he is nuts.
Yeah, he's an
If
idiot.
somebody offered me $7 million to come and play 1 year, I'm going and playing that 1 year.
You
It's
should have
more money.
known better. Look at what Carson Beck cashed in.
Yeah, Carson Beck.
That's the play.
He went to
And
Miami.
it's, I mean,
got
like,
paid.
it's crazy. And I don't know where this NIL ends and I don't know all about that. I saw some stuff online. I don't know if it's true or not. There's supposedly some kid that's a high school player in California that's getting paid $2 million to play high school football. I don't know if this is true. You see all this crap on social media. Don't know if that's true or not. I didn't care to look because I just kind of shook my head and I was like, a high school kid playing high school football. Who's going to pay you $2 million to play high school football?
I've seen something of the sort. Running back in Tennessee, he's getting paid.
Jabari, he's the number one running back in the country.
He's getting paid $1 million, and he's never even touched college.
That's what I mean.
But what's the benefit of paying a kid $1 million? Like, there's no.
No, this is to play high school.
I know, but even at the high school level,
like, what are you
there's
doing?
no return on investment. You're not selling. You're not selling cards and jerseys.
Yeah,
like,
I don't.
Well, the thing is,
there's no benefit of spending that type of money to win a state championship.
I guess.
I
don't know. I don't understand. It's what it says. Completely out of hand.
Well, I missed the boat.
You missed the boat. You missed the boat on it because it's completely out of hand. And honestly, at this point, there's no turning back.
Well, and I know you went to Holy Cross.
Right.
Was that a private school? So you had an opportunity, like Miles, my nephew. He was recruited to go to St. Albans, and basically, it was $75,000 a year. And my sister had to pay, but it wasn't $75,000.
Right.
But the level of education that he got at this private school, because of his ability,
Right.
He kind of cashed in high school, and even with you going to Holy Cross, different environment,
Absolutely,
and the level of education that you got going to a private school. Kind of set the tone probably for who you are today. I know your kids are
absolutely, man, and that's the key. I mean, I didn't get paid. My school wasn't $75,000. It was like $7,000, and
that's still a lot of money.
But I mean, you got to think.
Yeah,
you got to think that's also 30 years ago compared to his, say, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So right. it's probably a lot more now where you went than when it was in 30 years
Absolutely.
ago. Yeah. So
and I mean, it's like you said, that foundation that you get, because you get around people, you get around people that are foundationally better than you are in some aspect of it, because their parents are around. Parents got money. It puts you in an environment that you're not. And for me, I wasn't used to it. I don't know about Miles. I mean, his mom travels everywhere. My mom didn't travel anywhere. so it puts you in a different environment where it raises the level of your thinking. Like, man, I can.
What's the old saying? You never want to be the smartest guy in the room.
You don't,
or you don't want to be in that room, right?
And being able to do this, your athletic ability can take you so many places. But paying a kid $1 million in high school to play high school,
it's crazy, crazy.
I love it for him. I mean, I'm not mad at him at all.
Good for the kid. Good for the kid. I mean, that's his.
That's crazy to me.
Well, the good news is, man, college football is back. But I do want to go backwards a little bit to the spring, and I just want to briefly talk about this WVU baseball run, because because they play fall ball, so they're getting to kick up dust a little bit here soon. And they're going to get it together here. I think here in the next couple of weeks, they start playing fall ball. But what a run for the WVU baseball team. We didn't get, obviously didn't have shows and things, and we weren't really getting together. But what an exciting time. I felt like we had football season, and that was a gut punch. And then, basketball was kind of up and down, but they ended on a solid run. The women's team was exciting. And then next thing you know, here comes that baseball team. I mean, we're in June. Playing baseball, like people are called off work in the middle of the day.
That was an amazing run. That was an absolutely amazing run. And what they did for the state of West Virginia, I mean, the notoriety, and I know you're going to talk about it, and so I'm not going to, but the notoriety that it brought to West Virginia, that Country Roads is now a staple for a lot of major teams, USA wise, because of what it means. Like it's just a down home country theme for America now.
I mean, it's crazy that baseball team made the Final Four. I didn't think that, like, of all the things, the championships that you see, or these teams win and things like that, like the one I thought West Virginia could actually win and compete in is basketball. I'm not going to lie about it. That's the one I thought. But to watch that baseball team go out there, and I know they came up just short, but like to get to Omaha is absolutely incredible. And then to win a couple games out there, get all the way to the Final Four teams playing, as an incredible season. I never thought I would see West Virginia make it to Omaha and play in a College World Series, and they absolutely did it. That team was fantastic. They were fun to watch.
So why didn't you ever think that?
Because that's one of the baseball is a southern, like, it's a southern dominated sport.
We have been dominant over the last 2 years. Like, I mean, the last 4 years, I think we've been dominant.
But the thing is, though, is like usually you have to go. Now there was an upset in the first round with UCLA losing. We'd have had to go to UCLA had they won. Now that's fine. I'm not saying that we couldn't.
It played out well.
It played out well for WU. Like usually with West Virginia being like the 12 to 16 seed, which is about where they get seeded, they have to go in then to like LSU, Georgia, Mississippi State. Those teams are like, that's baseball country.
I hate
and
the
they
way you
haven't-
think sometimes.
No, they have the advantage due to the warmer weather where they can play all year
And usually,
round.
West Virginia has to
I-
go on the road.
And that's
I agree.
West Virginia has to go on the
I
road.
agree. However, when you have a mindset to make it happen, don't give me no BS about that. I get it, but I don't see how you didn't. From last year, I knew we were going to be good.
Oh,
I
I'm
knew
not
we were
saying-
going to be phenomenal this year. And I never watched WVU baseball. Sorry guys, but I never watched WVU baseball. They had a phenomenal run last year, and now I mean I knew that, and this year is going to be even better because everybody wants to be a part of.
Well, you got
Country
to.
roads.
I think what Derek is saying, where you look at where they came from, playing at Hollyfield, as we never thought it was possible.
Yeah, I didn't think this is one thing. Like they never it's to me like we've seen the basketball team make nice runs. You've even seen the football team make nice runs. The baseball team, even with the nice run, I didn't think they would ever make Omaha simply because of the disadvantages you have in West Virginia and the disadvantages that there are. However, they overcame those disadvantages and did it, and that's what makes it like. I mean, to me, that's one of the more spectacular runs.
Well, the good thing is they've raised the bar.
Yes.
You've got to be this tall to ride this ride.
Now you've done something, and people like the expectations now have gone from, well, we can get to the super regional. The expectations now are, we've made the College World Series. Now the next one is we can win the College World
Let's
Series.
go back to Omaha.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Coach Saban, Saban's and his staff. They do a great job up there identifying players. I mean, these guys was kind of like a ragtag group of guys. They went out and just kind of picked.
Can we get an up church? You think we'll be able to get an up church home?
It's not looking good. It's not looking good.
We need pitching, man. I think that's the key.
That's what wins. Pitching
We
wins.
need pitching. I mean, and that's a right arm. I mean, a 6'5" right armer that is, mama has it, daddy has it.
Trust me, we tried.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they tried, but it was coming from a place of I don't know.
Try harder.
Now
We
just
tried.
Try
No,
harder.
the family tried.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Try harder.
But now, hey, we can try, but now we have
You
backing.
now you got to just you got to let kids go.
Yeah,
For
do their
sure.
thing.
But this transfer portal is going to get them back home, baby.
Hey, somebody cut a check.
That's
See
what I'm
we can
saying.
do.
It's going to happen.
Well, I don't want to tell his business, but he's taking care of it.
Yeah.
Alabama.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure. I know that's happening. However, he might want to come closer to home.
We need to call Dave Hendrickson and Long, see if he'll.
CTC.
we need a dude. Well, so I mean, hey, it's here. Big 12 football next weekend. UNC and TCU in Dublin, Ireland. That'll be next weekend. And then I believe it starts Thursday night.
There's a handful of games
in
next
midweek.
Saturday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. There will be
following
college games,
And they're all
following
Big
week.
12 games.
Yeah, you'll have a bunch of Big 12 games. Yeah, well, TCU plays Saturday, and then Virginia also plays in Week 0, so that's a future opponent too.
Yep. So we'll be able to see them. They play NC State, so we'll get a look at the Who's. I guess they know what they call them.
And Rich's old team takes the field too. Jacksonville State, they take the field, I believe, in Week
nice.
0.
Well, next week what we'll do is we'll get a closer look at the schedule. We'll deep dive into that and give our predictions. We'll take a look at Coastal Carolina. We've got some special guests coming up, so we've got some guests that we'll be booking for that. And I do want to remind you guys, go check out the new website at touchdowncity.com. I'm real happy with the work that we did for that. And shout out to my folks over at Burns Photography. What a great
I
photo
was about
session.
to do that. That was Burns Photography is fantastic. I mean, they do all of my kids stuff. And I mean, the photos they took, I mean, I've never took the spray. The spray just, I mean, the
Smoke.
Go check out the website. Go check out our biopics. Shout out to Ant. Ant, you did a great job on the website.
The portrait photo of Avon is the best. I'm actually I got some wall space right here, or over there. We might move your jersey down.
That's funny, man. Hey, I love. They got so many different ideas. I mean, they were like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and Anthony's like, look at this rock wall. I'm like, it doesn't look like anything, and it's phenomenal.
Well, and then also too, you heard me. They're like, well, what do you want to do? I said, you guys just go.
Right.
I don't worry. I just cut the check, and we get everything that we need from them. So I'm real happy with the photos and the website at touchdowncity.com. So don't forget, also make sure you're checking it out. We Start Radio. The show will be on the air throughout the course of the week. I hope to get those stations listed, but check your local listings and see where we're running. I know we're running in Charleston, Martinsburg, Logan, all across the state of West Virginia. Morgantown, welcome back. We'll be on the John Frederickson radio stations in Clarksburg, Fairmont, and Morgantown, so we appreciate them picking us back up this year. But, gentlemen, don't forget, for the listeners, do us a quick favor. Go over and leave us a review on whatever format you listen to us on. That's a big help for us. We're making a real effort to continue to grow this thing, and this is year 7, and I'm making a real effort to push this thing out to the next step. Take the next step with the Touchdown City show. I've got a great group of guys here. This is our 7th year doing this together, and we want just leave us some reviews and tell us what you like, and that helps our algorithm push us out there. So we're the guys. I'm Anthony Lewis, and we're at the Stone Church Studio, and we'll see you next week on the Touchdown City Show.
The Touchdown City Show is produced by Anthony Lewis for 304 Digital.
Turn your sports card collection into instant cash today. We buy PSA Slabs vintage cards and certified autographs. Text 3047294465. Again, text 3047294465 right now. Turn your sports card collection into instant cash today. Text 3047294465.